If you're training hard, sleeping well, eating enough protein, but your recovery still feels terrible, there's a good chance the problem isn't your training or your nutrition, it's stress. And today, I'm going to show you why cortisol might be the hidden variable sabotaging your recovery. This is part 2 of the recovery series. Part 1 was all about the body. If you missed it, I have linked it below. This one is about the nervous system and the mind-body link. And I genuinely think this is where most of us are secretly losing the game. Let's start with a thing I really want you to walk away with today. When you're stressed, cortisol goes up, and guess what happens? High cortisol actively blocks muscle repair. Not slows it, blocks it. Your body reads prolonged stress as a survival emergency, and rebuilding muscle is not a survival priority. So it gets shelved. Mental stress and physical recovery share the same hormones, the same nervous system. You can nail your sleep, eat well, and still see your recovery completely stall if your mental stress load is chronically high. And I want you to really sit with that for a second. Every session you put in while your cortisol is elevated, you're working against your own recovery. The training stimulus lands, your body gets the signal, but the repair doesn't fully happen. Over weeks, that gap compounds. You feel it as fatigue that just won't shift. Strength that plateaus despite you doing everything right. This is why two people can follow the exact same training program and get completely different results. Same weight, same sleep, same food, different stress loads. Here's the thing. Most people think stress only affects the mind. But physiologically, your body treats a difficult email and a sprint workout almost the same way. So everything we're covering today is about bringing that chronic stress load down. When your brain senses stress like a deadline, an argument, doom scrolling at midnight, it fires a signal through what's called the HPA axis down to your adrenal glands, which flood your bloodstream with cortisol and adrenaline. The problem is when it won't switch off. Beyond the muscle repair issue, chronic cortisol affects the lining of your blood vessels, an early step in arterial plaque buildup. It slows immune function, so you're slower to fight infection and slower to heal. And it shortens telomeres, which are the protective caps on your chromosomes that essentially measure how fast your cells are aging. There's also something happening in your brain itself. Under chronic stress, control shifts away from your prefrontal cortex, which is the rational forward-thinking part, to your amygdala. The ancient, reactive part wired purely for survival. And the amygdala, when it's running the show, scans for danger. Without an actual threat, it does the next best thing. It scans your phone, the notifications, the news, the group chat. It feels like staying on top of things, but it's just a stressed brain trying to feel safe while adding more cortisol to the pile. Research shows that consuming stressful content, even events happening on the other side of the world, raises your personal risk of PTSD-like symptoms. Your nervous system genuinely cannot tell the difference between a threat to you and a threat you're watching, which is worth knowing the next time you're 40 minutes into the news at 11 p.m. Okay, so what can you actually do about it? Here's what I found. Number 1, your phone is a stress device. Treat it like one. Keep it out of arm's reach during work. Off your nightstand at night. There's research showing that having your phone nearby, even face down, completely silent, still reduces your cognitive capacity because part of your brain is already occupied knowing it's there. Cap news at 20 minutes a day. After that, you're not staying informed, you're just keeping your amygdala switched on. Number 2, use your breath as a direct dial on your nervous system. Breathing is the only function in your body that is both involuntary and under your conscious control, which makes it a genuinely powerful tool. When you're stressed, your breathing is fast, shallow, chest-led. That's sympathetic. Fight or flight. When you slow it down, breathe into your belly, and make your exhale longer than your inhale, 4 counts in, 8 counts out. You manually shift into the parasympathetic system, which is the rest and digest and recovery mode. 10 minutes of this before bed will show up in your overnight HRV the next morning. We talked about HRV in the last video. Your heart rate variability is one of the most reliable windows into your recovery state. And this is one of the few habits where you can make the change one evening and see it in the data the following day. Number 3, schedule quiet time. This one gets dismissed a lot, and I think that's a mistake. Even 5 to 10 minutes of genuine quiet, no phone, no podcast, no background noise, gives your nervous system actual space to downregulate. Meditation if that's your thing, but it doesn't have to be. Sitting with a coffee and looking out a window counts. The point is zero stimulation. Your nervous system is overstimulated for most of the day, so it needs pockets where absolutely nothing is being asked of it. Number 4, learn about your vagus nerve. The vagus nerve runs from your brainstem through your neck, chest, and abdomen to your major organs. It's the main cable of your parasympathetic nervous system. Higher vagal tone means your body can shift more quickly between activation and recovery, which again maps directly onto your HRV. 2 ways to stimulate it that are research-backed and take about 30 seconds is humming or singing, where the vibration in your throat directly activates the nerve, and cold water on your face, which triggers the dive reflex and rapidly drops your heart rate. Both sound almost too simple, but they work. Number 5, write things out of your system. Psychologist James Pennebaker found that writing about something stressful for 20 minutes over 4 consecutive days had measurable effects on mood, sleep quality, and immune function. What you're doing is moving thoughts out of amygdala territory, that reactive circular thinking place, into your prefrontal cortex where you can actually process them. No one reads it. There's no structure. You just set a timer and write honestly. It's a fast window into your mind. Number 6, get outside early. 10 minutes of natural light in the morning sets your circadian rhythm, supports serotonin production, and creates the hormonal conditions for better sleep that night. If you can get that time somewhere with trees or grass or water, even better. Research on nature exposure is consistent that cortisol drops, blood pressure drops, and the nervous system shifts toward a parasympathetic rest and recover state, even after short periods outside. And if you can do it with someone you actually like being around, you're stacking another effect on top of it. And while you're out there, kick your shoes off and try grounding. That is direct contact between your bare feet and the earth. Some small studies suggest this may reduce inflammatory markers, support nervous system regulation, and even help with muscle recovery. Number 7, use the people around you. Being physically present with a calm, safe person causes measurable drops in cortisol. Your nervous system literally synchronizes with the people nearby. It's called co-regulation, and we are wired for it. Loneliness causes the same health cost as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. We are social creatures. Time with the right people doesn't just make you happier, it literally makes you healthier. Most training plans obsess over sets, reps, and protein consumption. Almost none of them account for cortisol, and yet stress might be the single biggest variable determining whether your body actually recovers. All right, I hope you found this episode useful. Next up in this recovery series, we're going into gadgets, tech, and therapies, what I tested, what the data showed, and what's actually worth spending money on. You will not want to miss it. I'll see you in part 3. Bye-bye.